So today I'm going to talk about one of the hardest, or at least for a lot of people, and most fulfilling things about music, and that is, of course, writing and creating music. Now, a lot of people, especially when they're just starting out, have problems writing music because they don't know where to start. They don't think they know enough scales, or enough chords, or enough theory to get it all to make sense and to get their songs to sound right. But that's just sort of not true. So today I'm going to take you guys through how I generally write songs and how I come up with things and how it works for me, and hopefully give you guys some good advice, some good hints, or just something interesting to watch. Oftentimes it helps to have an idea, a sound you're looking for, just a little something, a little scale. Like, for example, I'm going to move you here for a sec. I was working today and I was just sitting here and I just thought, it's a pretty simple melody to work with, and it's a great place to start. Now look at this and we can see a couple things. I go ba, 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 ba. That gives us a couple sort of tonalities to work with. Obviously, implies C minor. This implies that I could maybe use something from the C pentatonic, minor pentatonic scale. This A implies that I can think about it in terms of the C Dorian mode, which would be Before anyone judges me, I don't really play piano. This is not going to look right. Another thing that shows up in this little pattern is a really, really famous bass line. It's, hit the road jack, Angel Eyes. There's a lot of progressions that use this, and it's really famous, shows up a lot, and especially if you're just starting out, it's good to use those little motifs as a jumping off point. This could then be a D minor blues that you could work with, and it gives you just a structure to work your melodic ideas into early on. Now, because I'm me and I've been thinking about it a lot, I'm more drawn back to the C pentatonic just because it's an easy thing that you can do a lot with. So I can start with, okay, what are my notes in the C pentatonic? You have C, E flat, F, G, and B flat. Now my melody starts on E flat, which is one of those notes, so I could make a chord out of the notes of the pentatonic scale to harmonize with this. So I go like, which is my normal triad. Maybe add that. And see how just with that one scale, and it's a pretty simple chord, I can add so much more to just by embellishing it and creating ideas just based around this one little scale and this one little chord. Keeping going, one of the easiest things to do is to just work down the scale. I had this as my first idea, so I can go to the next note. Remember, my pattern is so I can go to the next note down. And I just move this pattern down along the scale. So this is a fifth, so I'll go to the next fifth in the scale. And then I get... If I keep moving down the pentatonic scale in my left hand, I'm going to get... just by moving this voice. Or, sorry. And this voice. Staying completely in the scale. I'm going to get... Let's see how that sounds. So we keep our melody, remember? I'll go like, I don't know. I got a little bit ahead of myself there. That's for the next video, but whatever. Now we actually get some pretty cool things from just this one little scale and this one little melodic idea. Like, for example, this melodic idea, as we already discussed, we can look at in the Dorian mode, which already, if you're outside of jazz or something, it's going to sound pretty cool. But then we look at the actual harmonies we're creating. A C minor chord with the fourth. That sounds really cool. Goes to the ninth. Just a major triad to what's sometimes called the sus2 chord, but is essentially the fifth with a second instead of the third. Then we go to here, which gives us an inversion of E flat major, which is the relative of C minor. And then we go to F major, which, that's not in C minor, right? F minor is in C minor. So we even come up with this with a borrowed chord, something that doesn't exist in the key but still sounds cool, from just following this simple pattern, these two little ideas. And the last thing that I can't really stress enough is write this down. Make sure that you have your ideas down so you don't lose them. They can be so fleeting. Just make sure you get them down so you can come back to them later. Even like, I may never use this, but I have it down in case I, think it'll sound cool somewhere. I talked about a borrowed chord in this episode, which is something called modal borrowing. If you want to see a video about that, I'll put a link in the description. And click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.